Well, well, well. Welcome back, my darling Diamonds in the Rough. I am your favorite talking stone, and today, I don't know, my mic acts weird sometimes. I try to position it in the same place every time. Sometimes it goes in this yellow-red area, and sometimes it doesn't. Let me turn up the volume a bit. There we go. Peak, peak, peak. What? I'm surprised it's not peaking. Maybe I have to go like this? No, that's way too close anyway. Alright, but we are back with some more katakana and some more hiragana practice, and I could not think of a title, stream, theme, blah blah blah, whatever. I could not think of one. So I just put up a picture of a hot dog roller. Is it real live, right? We are. I should sound check. That, give me a moment. Yeah, the sound does check out. Isn't that lovely? In fact, I might also raise the music out a bit. And a little bit more gain never hurt anyone. I'm going to be talking like this, hopefully with my posture. I'm actually sitting up pretty... Oh, I'm sitting up in my chair. I'm not leaning back at all, which is going to do... I always like using my chair for back support. I always love leaning back. In Stardew, I usually always lean back. But, for an hour, why not try to have good posture without that aid of the chair? Actually, you know what? I also just made it so my chair can't physically lean back. It's more uncomfortable sitting when it's like that, but that's only when I lean back. Whatever. We're yapping. Let's get into it with some katakana and hiragana practice. Now, why exactly did I choose a hot dog roller for the thumbnail? And the answer is simple. I just Googled something cool. I just Googled cool things. I scrolled through a bunch of stuff, and I found a hot dog roller. It's like, no, actually, there's a hot dog steamer that I found just looking through, text and whatnot. I was like, that's interesting. And then I remembered hot dog rollers exist. And I was like, wow, those are really cool. I love how food can be cooked. I think it's really neat. Especially certain devices made for specific types of food, like hot dog rollers are great. Not kebab, oh, what is it? It is not a kebab. Oh my. What is that thing called? Where they spin the meat on a stick. On the fire, right? Is it the kebab thing? Kebab meat. Let me try that. No, it is a kebab. Wait. The kebab cooking thing. Oh my. Not doner kebabs, not actual kebabs. I'm looking for the spinny thing. What is that spinny thing called? Spinny thing kebab. That spinny thing, the rotisserie thing. It's a vertical rotisserie, of course it is. That thing. The rotisserie for kebabs. Actually, I'm not sure if this is probably isn't common knowledge, but I heard that the first motor invented, I believe it was a steam piston motor, using steam to raise and lower a piston, because, everything's steam piston. Everything's steam powered, steam powered. But the first motor was invented to spin a kebab, or a rotisserie for kebabs. And that's really cool. I see the Chad meme where I invent motor to spin kebab. It's like, no, I drew you as the soy jack, and the soy jack is, I don't know what the terms are, but that little guy's like, no, you can do so much with the motor. It's like, kebab go spin. Automatic kebab spin. And I had, actually a gyro the other day. There's this really nice Greek place by me that I never visited for some reason. I went in and oh my, they had a wonderful gyro. I was craving some lamb and I went into this place and it's really surprising because it's really nice. It's a really nice place. And I say that's surprising because nothing around me is that nice. Nothing around me is that nice of a place. It sticks out like a sore thumb in a good way. That's the only reason I remember it was there. I went in, it looked really nice, and there's this big gap in the wall where you can see the kitchen, and you can see the rotisserie for the kebab spinning. You can see that, and oh my, the aesthetic is so good. Well, not rotisserie for kebab, rotisserie for the gyro. I just kind of had kebabs on the mind. But you could see the rotisseries plural, and it was just great aesthetic. I tried the food. Great food. Great gyro. Is a gyro a sandwich? I'm pretty liberal with the definition of a sandwich. It's a sandwich to me. It was a good sandwich. It was a really good sandwich. Oh my. But just the ingenuity of the rotisserie spinning it is something I find really cool. Should I do a tier list of waste devices used to prepare foods? Heating devices used to prepare foods? Probably not. Actually, we'll go on to something else. When I think where was I? I was at some mall. I believe some mall, and I was walking around, and some of the pop-up stands, whatever they're called, in the middle, like, that serve, like, beverages, snacks, whatever. Think maybe like an Auntie Anne's. But not an Auntie Anne's, something else. One of them was a beverage station that was serving like I forget what it was. No, it wasn't even a beverage station, but they were serving like frozen fruit balls. That doesn't make sense. I don't know how to describe it, but I believe it was like fruit juice that had been frozen with liquid nitrogen. Think of like Fruit Loops. Was it Fruit Loops or was it? No, it wasn't Fruit Loops. I think it was like orbs of fruit flavored things that have been frozen with liquid nitrogen, dipped in liquid nitrogen, and they give this cool like smoky effect when you consume them. I didn't try them, but they just have a place in my memory for some reason. Why do I remember them? That's a good question. But liquid nitrogen is becoming more and more, and dry ice as well, are becoming more and more popular and trendy ways to prepare food. Well, I say that, but that's the only thing No, that's not the only thing. I remember looking on, not me looking on Instagram, but I believe my family was looking on Instagram one day, and they saw this place, I think in New York City, where they had these incredibly eccentric beverages with like smoke and whatnot, and that smoke was, I believe, dry ice that they put in the drink to cool it and have this effect, because presentation is everything. And it's not just that. I also remember, oh my, what is it, like the stupid food? I think if you Google like stupid food, they'll show off stuff like this pizza dome. Oh my. The internet is a really, really great place if you're a hater. It's also a great place if you're a lover, but if you're a hater, it's a great place. Because you can just see something, it's like, oh, that's dumb. I guess. Sorry, that's crass. That's crass, it's rude. But a lot of criticism towards food is more of the gimmicky things. Think like a Salt Bae type character. People who amp up the gimmick rather than the flavor. And sometimes it's definitely warranted, sometimes it's not. I remember watching a video about someone eating a steak, I think at like a casino or something, and they prepared this steak a special way. They were going to grill it in front of you on a salt tablet to extract the flavor, a heated salt tablet. And I'm not someone who eats steak. I don't know the ins and outs of cooking steaks. I've seen like 3 TikToks on them in total. YouTube shorts, I should say, because I don't use TikTok. But I've seen 3 YouTube shorts on them like, total. But I could tell you that was not how you cook a steak. It was getting stuck to the salt plate. I guess they didn't use any fat or anything whatsoever to make it non-stick. Which, that's probably a bad thing. Unless you have like some sort of really fatty steak. Like, is Wagyu or Kobe? Which one? I believe Wagyu is the really fatty one. I think they might be both be fatty, but I think it's Wagyu. That's the really fatty one that you just put on and then the juices ooze out. But it wasn't Wagyu, it was just a normal steak. And even if it was Wagyu, I think you might still need some sort of like fat to lubricate the stone. so that it's a non-stick thing, because it was getting stuck on there. It was not getting cooked well. I felt so bad. But again, it was one of those presentation things. Instead of flavor, you get presentation. Granted, I think the idea of cooking something on a salt tablet is cool to get like that salty flavor. I don't know if I feel like it would work. I feel like it would work. But I'm not sure. Salt is a really important cornerstone of the culinary world. I've heard people say that the two most important things in the history of cooking are fire and salt. Granted, salt mainly, in that sense, is a way of preserving meat, not just for flavor. But for flavor, it definitely matters. I've seen, again, one of the 3 steak TikToks I've had was someone putting like this salt rock on a steak. I forget if it was to like marinate it in the salt or if they baked it in that. I forget what it was. And then they cracked it open and revealed this very salty but delicious meat. Their words, not mine. It looked good though, because it was crafted by a professional chef. Actually, that's actually a good question. If there's a popular YouTube creator and they post a video cooking food, and that video generates ad revenue, does that make them a professional chef? That's a good question. Oh my, that is a good question. Because, how do I say this? For me, a professional is someone who has made money doing something. Like, I can say I'm a professional umpire because I umpired Little League games when I was 12. No, I was 13. I was 13. I umpired a Little League game. I umpired 3 Little League games. 1 softball, 2 baseball. That was my umpiring career. It was fun. Also really hot, but fun. I don't have much to say. Oh, actually I do. One of the few games I umpired, and a reason why I didn't umpire more games was because my father was a coach for a team, and there's obviously a big no-no in having someone's son coach umpire for their game. So that cut out a lot of games, and because I was a young umpire, that was also the age I was supposed to really umpire for. So that cut me out a lot of games. But I remember I was met up with the head umpire before the game, the actual adult, and we were just talking a bit, and he mentions that the other, umpiring is fun, but sometimes things happen. Like just the other day, I had to throw out a kid because this kid acted in a way that was not respectful of a Little League team. I was like, oh yeah, that was my dad's team. Yeah, apparently this umpire was the same one who just umpired my father's team the other day, and it was very funny. It was very funny, that interaction. I just feel like he's just saying, yeah, don't worry about it, some things are rough, I'll be there for you, blah, blah, blah. Just doing umpire stuff and just, what is it, shooting the fat? That's the term, right? Just to talk about whatever. Just shooting the fat with me, and then I was like, oh yeah, that was that was my team, my father's team. And I thought that was really funny. A funny little way to, I guess, break the ice a little bit. But, yeah, it was a fun little gig. But I am someone who can say I'm a professional umpire, because I generated money from doing that thing. I retired a long time ago. Really long time ago, wow. But I, out of technicality, consider myself to be a professional umpire. But for me, if we're talking about if a YouTuber cooks something and on a video and gets added from that, I would lean to no with an asterisk. They are a professional content creator. But for me, a professional cook is someone who generates revenue from their meals. Or maybe they win a competition. But I feel like you have to win money from their meals, the value of their meals, rather than the value of the content, if that makes sense. So if let's say, I reference him a lot. Ludwig Ogren. I remember one of his old videos, he made a crepe. It looked like a pretty good crepe too, but he made a crepe in his room. He had a gas burner, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He just made a crepe. And he probably got money from that video. But he is not a professional chef. Granted, he does want to open a bakery, and if he does, I would consider him a professional baker. I know there's a pretty big difference between bakers and chefs. I know there is. But professional cook. I should just say professional cook. I would consider him a professional cook. Don't come at me if you are a big knower of the differences between chefs, cooks, and bakers. I'm not. I am very much uneducated. But I would say a cook, to me, is someone who can cook like meals, like traditional chef, and someone who can cook desserts and pastries and whatnot. I feel like that is a word that could encompass both of them. Oh my. Why did I go on that tangent? I forget. But yeah, professional chef. That would be, even if you. Okay, I say that, but I say professional is someone who makes money from providing, from the service or object they are providing. Like, if you're a professional chef, you have sold food. I say that, but I think there's a small caveat. If you have ever had a lemonade stand as a child. Am I gatekeeping? I'm gatekeeping. If you have had a lemonade stand as a child, I don't think you qualify as a professional chef. Or professional cook, professional beverage maker, bartender, whatever you want to call it. I don't think you qualify as a professional mixologist. I think that's a fair thing to say. Maybe, well, actually I say that, but if a child just sold some lemonade and said, look at me, I'm a mixologist now, I would not say, actually, you're not. I wouldn't be like that. I was like, yeah, you are. Good for you. That's what I would feel towards a child, but I guess maybe there's some sort of age gap. That some gap of time has to pass before that status of professional whatever, whether it be mixologist, cook, chef, baker, whatever it is. I think there must be some sort of time gap to where that says something you can claim to the point where you can't. But at what point? I guess from the point of a professional gamer, I think usually they stop losing the term professional when they retire. When they retire that aspect. So if someone, but I feel like there has to be more leeway than that. Because the day after the child does their lemonade stand, they're probably not going to do it again, and then they're done. At what point are they retired? Is it the day after? Do they have like a week? Maybe a month? I don't know. I think there's some nuance, but there has to be some amount of time passing. Right? I guess that means it's been a while, so I guess I'm no longer a professional umpire. I was a professional umpire, though. On a technicality, I was a professional umpire. And that is something that won't be put on my tombstone. Maybe it will. If I don't accomplish anything more, maybe it will. Oh my. We're making actually decent progress on well, I said we're 30 in like 20 minutes. It's not terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible. And we've been yapping a lot. But I did want to talk about other food preparation thingies. What is it? Cooking instruments. Cooking apparatuses? Cooking apparatuses seems like the more appropriate term. We talked about rotisseries for specifically kebabs and gyros and whatnot. But I have to talk about my favorites. The air fryer. I love air fryers. They're so convenient, they're easy to use, and they're just really good at cooking food. And unlike an oven, it doesn't necessarily become dry if you put something in there. And I think that difference in the difference in moisture can really change how a dish tastes. The texture of it, the flavor of it, I think that can really change how it tastes. The oven I have has 2 different modes currently. Actually, has a lot of modes. It's a traditional oven, a broiler, an air fryer, and it's all great. I typically use the oven and air fryer the most. Mainly the air fryer, because the air fryer is really easy to just turn on. It'll get to the temperature. I feel it gets to the temperature faster. I don't know if it actually does, but I feel like it does. And I made some great things in there. I made some roasted potatoes. I made some chicken. Well, actually, did I make chicken nuggets? Not in the air fryer. I should try that. I should try that. Because normally, I'm very terrible at frying foods. And I guess we'll get to that later. But I'm really, really bad at frying foods. But for some reason, the air fryer, it doesn't really fry them the way, oil in a pan does. Or, actually, I've fried things in a multitude of different ways. I'll get to that later. But it definitely cooks differently. That being said, I also do use some oil when I put stuff in the air fryer. Usually a drizzle of olive oil on top. It helps, I feel, with the flavor. I think you're supposed to. I'm not really sure. But let's talk about how terrible I am at frying foods. I have to mention that. I'm really bad. I can never get it at the correct temperature. I never can put the food in at the right time. And the oils, or the fats, I should say, I choose to use, they vary so much. To the point where it might even be a little... Is gross the right word? I don't know. But my favorite... let's start. My favorite oil to fry stuff in is probably... canola oil. It has a high smoke point, and the reason I know what smoke point is because what a smoke point is at a certain temperature, the oil will burn off and become smoke. And if you're like me, and you use olive oil in a pan, and you turn the pan up hot enough, there is a lot of smoke, and the olive oil just goes away, and it ruins the cooking experience. And it's happened to me way too many times. And not just olive oil, butter as well. Butter is something that I use to cook, and a lot of time, I like how it browns in the pan, but then heats too much, it burns, and you see the smoke point. It's not fun. But canola oil has a pretty high smoke point, so I prefer to use it when I can. But I don't fry food is enough to use it. I think I bought maybe a quart of canola oil 3 years ago, and I'm not halfway done. And I throw out my oil because I don't know how to reuse it, recycle it, outside of just using it the next day. It's a real shame, and somehow I'm not even halfway. I think I'm roughly halfway done, maybe not even halfway done with it. But oh my, it's definitely my favorite. Olive oil is something I definitely did use, and I still do use on occasion. But really, I try to use my canola oil. Vegetable oil isn't bad. I prefer to use it over olive oil. Actually, no, I don't. Olive oil, I really do enjoy the flavor of olive oil. So I try to use it when I can, when I don't have to turn things up too hot. And I definitely douse it when I put stuff in the air fryer. But the flavor of olive oil is probably bar to none. Vegetable oil I've used seldom. I bought vegetable oil the same time I bought canola oil, but vegetable oil I mainly use for baking. I use it a lot in like brownies and whatnot. Which I haven't made brownies in a while. I should make brownies. Brownies really do taste good. Oh man, I've been trying to cut back on sugar consumption because that's objectively a good thing, but I've not been trying hard. And I just miss the tasty snacks that I used to make. Oh, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I really should make brownies, but I don't want the calories or the sugar. Ah, it's a pain. Oh well, it is what it is. I mentioned I fry stuff with butter as well. Granted, I don't know if you'd even call it frying, but the first thing that comes to mind is hash browns. It's been a while since I made hash browns. They do take a while to prepare, but when I put them in the pan, I would use butter as my primary fat to cook them in. And the butter would smoke and burn at some point, but the flavor of butter, it might even be better than the flavor of olive oil. But the other thing I've used butter for, and I use butter for it still, because I would feel gross using any other oil or any other fat, is pancakes. I'm someone who does not trust the non-stick labeling of my pan. I don't trust that. So I put down a thin layer of butter first, and then put the pancake batter on top. And technically, this is frying the pancake in butter. And it tastes good. It does taste good. It gives you a butter flavor, and I don't even, what's the word? I don't even use butter when the pancake's on, because it already has that butter flavor that's basically mixed in with the batter at that point. Well, it's not mixed in with the batter at all, actually. But you can just taste the butter, and it's so good. It really is so good. Now, the last fat that I have cooked stuff in. Oh my, this is a really weird one. The last fat I've cooked stuff in is lard. If you don't know what lard is, it's animal fat, but specifically pig fat. Now, you might be thinking, did you really buy a thing of lard to cook your food in for probably one time? And the answer is no. No, I didn't. I rendered my own lard. I cooked bacon one day. And I noticed that there was a lot of fat left in the pan. And I just thought to myself, I could make fries with this. This is a fat. I could fry things in this. And curiosity got the best of me, and I made fries with it. I did that. And by rendered lard, I didn't do anything to even clean it, so that's probably adding on to a little bit of uncleanliness and grossness, but I cooked it in lard, and pig fat is very smoky. I have to say, pig fat is rather smoky. If you turn up the heat high enough and you reach its smoke point or flirt with the smoke point, you will see smoke. So, luckily I didn't get too much of it, but I found that out after the fact, and let's just say I'm grateful. Let's just say that I'm grateful I didn't deal with too much smoke. But I did make fries in it. I was just kind of going crazy with the pan. I normally like to... Actually, I forget what I did for these fries. If I parboiled them first. I normally like to double fry fries, but again, I'm really bad at frying, so it didn't go. Oh, hello. Hi, hola stone, soy tu amigo mexicano. Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. I am well as well. Well, I don't know if you're well yet. But I'm just practicing some hiragana. Yep, it's on screen. I'm practicing some hiragana, some katakana, and talking about making frying potatoes in pig fat, because what's that quote? I forget what that quote is. Did you ever stop and think did you ever stop and ask yourself, why would you do this? Because I didn't ask myself that. I asked, why not? I had pig fat in the pan, and I just decided to make fries with it. And I have to reveal them. I will say that is probably the best I've ever cooked fries, not because of the oil. Not because of the pig fat, but because I just watched over them like a hot hawk and went crazy with them. Making sure they're flipped on each side. And the taste test. I have to be honest, they tasted a little weird. They did taste a little weird. They weren't bad. They were good fries. Like, if I got them at a restaurant, I would not be saddened by that. They were crispy enough. Even with my poor frying skills, they were crispy enough. The flavor, again, a little bit of weirdness because you are tasting the pig fat. And I've never heard of any place that made fries in pig fat. I have heard of places that use beef tallow, beef fat, in fries. Oh, sorry, Mr. Mrs. ¿Qué haces, bro? ¿Cómo es estado? Oh, wait. Whoa, I'm going... What are you doing, bro? How is the state? The state of things are well. The state of things are rather well. I'm going to turn up my microphone a little bit more. There we go. I'm talking in a way that doesn't really peak, so I shouldn't have to worry too much. But yeah, everything's going well. The state of things is going well. Oh my. But yeah, I believe, is it Culver's? Culver's is an American fast food chain particular to, I think, the Midwest, maybe South of America. I've never been to a Culver's, so I don't really know. But I think it's more Southern, Western, Midwestern. Not Western, but Midwest. I think. I'm not too sure. I'm not too familiar with Culver's, but I hear they fry their fries in beef tallow. And McDonald's, actually. The McDonald's. Ronald himself used to fry fries in beef tallow. Though I think that practice stopped around 1990. So, it doesn't happen anymore. Not at McDonald's. I forget which oil they switched to. But they don't do animal fat now. Their fries are vegan, as far as I'm aware. Their fries are completely vegan. Huh. Yeah, McDonald's fries are weird, because I don't think they're that good, but they are that addictive. And I don't know why they're that addictive. Like, objectively, if I had a McDonald's fry and I tasted it, and then I had, like, let's say, what's another fast food chase that I respect? A Shake Shack fry, and I tasted that, I would say the Shake Shack fry is better. But I would eat more McDonald's fries. There's something, a certain, not je ne sais quoi. Is tomorrow Wednesday? Mañana es miércoles? Yes, tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday the 6th. Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo today. I forgot. Happy Cinco de Mayo. But yes, tomorrow is Wednesday. Wednesday. Is something supposed to go on Wednesday? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm always forgetting something. It probably... If I forgot it, it's not that big of a deal. If I forgot it... I like that mindset. To just, live and let be. If you don't remember it, it's probably not a big deal. If you don't remember it, it's probably not a big deal. Oh my. That's a positive mindset. Brain empty, cortisol low, whatever. Be happy. Be happy. I forget what this is. Is this Ra? It's Wa. Okay. Also Wa. Interesting. Thanks. Oh, of course. But, yeah. Beef tallow. I've never actually tried things cooked in beef tallow. I don't think, at least. It's... Do I want to try something cooked in it? I think I do. I'm a big fan of not having any waste for food. Like, if you're going to have something, you should try to use all of it if you can. If you're going to have an apple, you might as well eat the skin. If you're going to eat potatoes, also eat the skin. They're the most nutritious parts. And if you're going to eat an animal, you should try to use the bones and everything else for something. I think, that's the creation of sausages, isn't it? You just put all the stranger cuts of meat that that aren't as popular. You grind them up in a meat grinder and you put them in this tube, and that's your sausage, your hot dog. Which loops back to the thumbnail for this video, the hot dog roller. Hot dogs are such a strange food. Because again, yeah, they're the ground up, I believe, what are they? They're like the misfit toys of food. They're just ground up random cuts of random animals that are typically eaten and put in a tube, as far as I'm aware. I think you can get some beef hot dogs, you can get some pork, you can get specific animals, but the meat that is inside them is just all different cuts, from what I'm aware of. It's very anti-wasteful. And for some reason, as a kid, I liked hot dogs, despite being a very picky eater. I did enjoy hot dogs, especially towards the 4th of July, which is not now. It's the Cinco de Mayo, not the 4th of July. And the only reason I'm so dreamy about the 4th of July is because I have off on the 4th of July. I don't normally have off, so it's really nice. It's a far time away, right? Because we have June and July left. Sorry, we have May and June left before July. 2 months. 2 months. What is it, 8-9 weeks now until I have off? Ow. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put my headphone back in, but for some reason I think I pressed too hard. Hurt my eardrum. Anyways, ooh, we're getting low. Let's go to 60. Yeah, let's go to 60 and we'll do some puzzles. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. Oh yeah. But also, again for the no waste, I remember seeing a video where someone turned his not cuts of beef, but excess beef fat and then beef bones, and turned them into a tallow, a beef tallow that he rendered himself. I remember seeing that. It's like, wow, that's really cool. Part of me wants to do that, and then the other part of me thinks that it's not worth it. So I am conflicted, but I'm a big fan of little waste. I am a big fan of wasting as little as you can. Oh, we're at 60. You know what? We'll do one more. Yeah. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm gonna have a sip of water. I forgot to mute while sipping. How are you doing with katakana? I think I'm plateauing. I have some decent understanding of it, but I'm at a level where I should probably start to learn vocabulary, words, dissociate the letters with the words. I do it more, when I do practice, I do it more passively just to, I guess at this point, keep up with it. And that's definitely good in its regard, but I could be doing better. I could be doing better. This is just in my opinion, the groundwork for what I'm trying to do. But I think we're making some progress at the very least. Right. I think we're going to go on to our first puzzle, and that puzzle is the Minute Cryptic. And what is the Minute Cryptic? The Minute Cryptic is a single crossword clue, but it's a little bit different. A typical crossword clue would have the entire phrase as a definition. A cryptic crossword clue has a definition at the beginning or end, and the rest of the clue is a puzzle that helps you solve it. There will be maybe words you steal letters from, and other words that indicate what you do, like what letters to steal. It's easier to show, so let us begin. They're supplied by vessels traversing Bermuda Triangle. And it's 5 letters. They are supplied by vessels traversing Bermuda Triangle. Bermuda Triangle. Interesting. They're supplied by vessels traversing Bermuda Triangle. So the definition, I think, is either they're supplied by vessels, like cargo, It's not cargo, is it? That does fit. But traversing Bermuda Triangle does not bring a C in... Yeah, it doesn't have a C at all. Yeah, there's no C in traversing Bermuda Triangle, so I don't think cargo is correct. Traversing Bermuda Triangle? Oh, wait. There is something here. There is something here, and I'll explain in a second. Yo la verdad no voy bien en mi inglés XT. I'm not very good at English, to be honest. I mean, I think you do, at the very least, understand English well. Like, when you write in Spanish, I can... Thank goodness gracious for the auto-translate. But when you write in Spanish, it feels like you understand at least a good bit of what I'm saying. But yeah. Alright, let's continue. So why could it be cargo? Well, vessels... Let's see. Actually, no, that would be they're supplied by vessels. I was saying vessels could be a sort of thing meaning vehicle, like maybe a car. That's where we get car, but no. If they're supplied by vessels would be cargo. But how do we get cargo from traversing Bermuda Triangle? How do we get cargo from traversing Bermuda Triangle? Creo que solo me falta 99999 años para aprender. I think I only need 999 years to learn English. No, you got it. No, 9 months, 9 days, 9 hours. Okay, why is my workload peaking now? I don't know. But no, you definitely understand at the very least. Or at least understand some at the very least. And that's good. I might use a hint here. Cargo fits, and if it's there supplied by vessels, I think it'll be cargo. If it's triangle, maybe not. Show definition. Oh, this hurts. This hurts. That's what I thought the definition was. And I do think the answer is cargo. I just don't know how we're getting cargo. I just don't know how we're getting cargo. Because cargo is obviously supplied by vessels. They're what ships carry across seas. They carry cargo. They carry goods. They carry whatever. Also could be goods, but cargo is very interesting. Traversing Bermuda Triangle. Traversing means to go. Bermuda Triangle. Oh my. I'm going to use a hint for an indicator. This clue's indicator is traversing, and it's a hidden word indicator. Our answer is crossing the 2 fodder words in this clue. So he takes 5 letters from Bermuda Triangle. My first instinct would be Datri or Atria, but it's not Atria, is it? Wait, is it Atria? Atria. Atria, is that the name of an artery? Or the atrium is the name of an artery, right? Could it be? It's not this, is it? It is! Okay, that makes sense. Traversing Bermuda Triangle just means it's in Bermuda Triangle. We have the A-T-R-I-A. That's what the clue was indicated. So it wasn't cargo. But instead of ship vessels, it's actually blood vessels. Now, I'm going to look up Atria to make sure. Aunque según las matemáticas de Alberto este debería aprender 1% a inglés cada 99999 siglos. Although according to Alberto's mathematics, he should learn 1% of English every that many centuries? Huh. Alberto's mathematics. Is that a common saying? Am I unaware of that? I'm gonna look that up too. Let me switch to this screen. So let me look up Atria and then Alberto's mathematics. Is this a common thing? Oh, Albert.io. No, it's probably something different. Alright, but look at Atria. What is Atria? Atria, the plural of atrium, refers primarily to the two upper chambers of the heart that receive blood. Okay, that makes sense. So they're supplied by vessels. The atria... Oh. Oh, don't confuse him with Alberto Stone. I won't. So, they're supplied by vessels. I was thinking of something that is supplied by vessels. Like maybe... like the blood itself. But rather, it's not what is being supplied by vessels. It is something that is supplied by vessels. Meaning, something that is... the thing that is receiving something. So they're supplied by blood vessels. The atria is supplied by the blood vessels of the heart. Those blood vessels supply the atria with blood. That's pretty clever. That is rather clever. Oh my. That's a good one. Now, I always like to do the Pokedoku second. I'm not even that good at the Pokedoku. I'm not up to date with all the newfangled Pokemon. Oh, DJ Alberto está de broma, siendo que Alberto es una copia barata de el genio científico. Oh, I said Albert is joking since he's a cheap copy of the scientific genius. Oh, Albert Einstein. Okay. Alright, I get it now. Right, the Pokedoku should be up. Yep, so let's hop to it. And for this game, we have to find a Pokemon that fits both the row and the column. For instance, for this square, we need a Dragon-type Pokemon that is dual-type. Like Hydreigon. Which is Dark and Dragon. We need a Fairy type that is dual-type. Which makes you think Gardevoir. We can do Gardevoir Mega. Why not? Which is Psychic and Fairy. And a ground type that is dual type. I think Swampert. Swampert is a ground and water type. So there we go. Nice! Now, Johto. Johto is the second region, I believe. Which is... how do I say this? Like heart gold, silver, crystal. Right. And a dragon type in Johto would be Dragonite. Or Dragonair. Dragonair. I like Dragonair more. Dragonair. My computer always slows down when I'm on this side. I don't know why. But Dragonair should be Johto. It really should be. I'm decently confident. I should never be decently confident in my life. Dragonite. I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down. Dragonite has to be Johto. It can't be Gen 1. It has to be Gen 2. That irks me. I'm going to skip that for now. Johto and Fairy type. Ooh, that's... Molly isn't a Fairy type. Oh, Sunday is Domingo? Domingo. Yeah, Sunday is Domingo, right? Right? Am I wrong? Yeah, no, Sunday is Domingo. Yes. Oh my. But Fairy and Johto... I don't know. Ground and Johto. Let's see. Oh my, I'm drawing blanks at Johto. I don't know. Dragon. Oh, Mega Evolve. That's pretty easy. Charizard X. Charizard Mega X. which is Dragon and Fire. If it'll load and let me pick it, there we go. Fairy and Mega Evolved. Gardevoir Mega would have fit this bill. Molly isn't. No, Molly is not. Diancie Mega. There we go. And lastly, Ground and Mega, Swampert Mega. Alright. Now, let me go back to the region one, Johto. The way I like to think about region Pokemon are usually gym leaders and their aces. Usually gym leaders and their aces, and champions of their aces, will have a Pokemon from that region. That's why I thought Dragonair, or Dragonite, because of Lance, the champion of the region of Johto, who uses 3 Dragonites, all of which are illegal because they are at Dragonite when they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to still be at Dragonair, but that's beside the point. Oh, I missed messages, sorry. Son podrías ayudarme en mi inglés, por favor. Llevo años intentando aprender y no lo hago. ¿Podrías decirme los días en mi inglés, por favor? Digo en inglés. Nunca supe los días en inglés. What does it translate to? Could you help me with my English, please? I've been trying to learn for years and I can't. The days in English, please. I never know the days in English. The days are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Let me type them. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is Domingo. Sunday is Domingo. Yep, those are the days in English. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday. The pronunciations are not always the best. Like Wednesday, usually the D is kind of silent, and so is the E. So it's like the E is typically silent. Thanks, bro. Of course, no problem. Why is my screen blank? Why is my screen blank? Okay, that was weird. I think because I had it down. Alright, anyways, we continue. Johto and Dragon. Another ace is Kingdra for Claire. Claire, the Dragon-type gym leader, has a Kingdra, which is Dragon and Water. Stone. Ah, you're fine. Of course. But Kingdra should be Dragon, and if it's not Dragon, there we go, there's something. We're gonna keep playing. Might as well. Let's just go anyway. Fairy and Johto. There's no Fairy-type gym leaders. I was going to put Gardevoir, but I actually don't know what Gen Gardevoir came out in. It might have been Gen 3, because I know the twins use Gallade and Gardevoir. The twin gym leaders, which is a really cool concept. Oh, roses, thank you. But it's not... I wouldn't bet on Gardevoir, in which case maybe Clefairy? No, Clefairy is definitely Gen 1. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm just going to scroll down and see the answers. Well, Ground and Johto, I could get, but we're not going to. Cleffa and Doniphan. That's what I'm missing. Kingdra was the most common dragon type. The least common was Feraligatr Mega. Oh my, I forgot about them. Steelix Mega is a ground type. Interesting. I forgot about Steelix. And Marill. I forgot about Marill. Wow. That is... Wow. The party, the celebration things. I forgot what this... Confetti. The confetti. Why did I forget what confetti is? Oh my. I think we have time for 1 or 2 more puzzles. I think we do. Do I want to just do the connections and the Wordle? Yeah, sure. That is the roots of this channel, after all. So let us begin with the connections this time. Let's start with the connections first. We'll hit play. And the goal for connections... Stone, when's your birthday, bro? How do I say this? That information is... There are some things I like to be more private about. Especially in the world. And a personal birthday is one of those things. So I apologize, but I'm not going to share that. I hope you understand. It's just, with everything and everyone out there, putting some personal information out is always a bit of a scary thing. I hope you understand. But back to the connections. Right, we have to get 4 groups of 4. We have to see which words are connected by something. A hint, a hitch, a pointer is a hint. A hiccup, a suggestion. A bend, sneeze, setback, blink, shiver, flicker, whiff, sneeze, game plan, sheepshank, matchstick, bowline. A hint, a pointer, suggestion. These are all guiding things. Anything else a guidance? Shiver, whiff, sneeze, bend, setback, blink, hiccup. Not that I see. But a hiccup and a hitch are some sort of setback. And... oh my, what else means setback? Not a hitch, a setback, a hiccup. Not a blink. Well, let's talk about this. A blink, a whiff, a flicker, just a bit of. A hitch of. I don't really like hitch, so we're going to do shiver. Okay, it's not that. That's a herring. Hint, pointer, suggestion. Well, actually, hitch, setback, hiccup. And what else means, sneeze? No, sneeze is wrong, but we're going to do it anyway. Really? Nothing there? Alright, a hint, a pointer, a suggestion. Not a band, a sneeze, a whiff, or shiver, a flicker, a bowline, matches, sheepshank. Why not? Really? Those are all just herrings. Oh my. That's not my favorite thing. Matchstick, sheepshank, game land. This starts with an animal. You know what? I kind of faltered at the connections. Do I want... you know what? Let's not give up. Let's put one best effort forward. I was just going to skip to the Wordle, but... we can do one more, and then we can accept their loss with dignity. A whiff of something... just a small smell. No, nothing to sneeze at. No. You know what? We're just going to do bend, hint, pointer. No, that wasn't 3 of a kind, though. Hiccup. A shiver. Things that are sick. A sneeze. What else is sickly? Flicker, whiff, gameland, sheepshank, magic, suggestion, blink, setback, bend. Well, these are more like human things that you do, I guess. Involuntary actions. Involuntary actions it is. We got 1 on the board at the very least. What's next? To bend. A matchstick is something that you can spark. And it's something that lights up. And that's not giving me anywhere. To point. Starts with point, starts with flick, starts with... no. Bowline. I don't know. I really don't know. But at least we got 1. To hitch is to get married. No, I'm really at a loss. Oh my. I've definitely waned in talent at the connections. So we'll just try a few more things. Give me, I guess, 1 more minute and we'll try something. A flicker of light. No. Sheepshank is very interesting. Starts with sheep, ends with shank. has shank in it. Do we have any? Sheep shank. Has the word sheep, has the word shank. Game and land, match and stick. To shank, to point, to stick. Has point in it, has stick in it. What else? Not set back, but Huh. Back is a part of the back, but that's not that. So we have point, we have stick, we have shank. What means like to poke? Suggestion, no. Setback, no. Bend. Hit and hitch. This might be the purple, or it might be nothing. It's nothing. Of course it is. Wait. Oh, that's annoying. That's irksome. When we did flicker hint, I think we did 3 of these, and it didn't show up. Oh my, that... That annoys me. I didn't see the 3 of a kind, so I just kind of completely disregard and was looking for something else. I think we could have gotten yellow. If we did, I think we'd miss flicker. I'm not sure. Next is kind of knots, a hitch, a sheep shank, a bowline, and a bend. I maybe heard of a hitch and a bowline. Never a sheep shank. And a bend as a knot? I haven't heard of it. And then starting with units in competitions. A set, a point, a match, and a game. Oh! We were somewhere in the right direction. Somewhere. Not really. We were not in the right direction, but that's fine. Haystone, what game do you recommend? That's a good question. That is a really good question. In terms of video games, Stardew Valley, of course. If you can emulate maybe some old Nintendo games, which is something I've been doing in my spare time, but outside of that, I don't really play a lot of games. If we're talking like browser and the dulls, where it's more of a puzzle. Oh, actually, one thing I do recommend, just because I have to chill and sell them out, is where's something I can. Let me pull it up quickly. Is artisanal Sudoku. Artisanal Sudoku. Oh my. I'm someone who really enjoys puzzles. And my favorite puzzles aren't Sudoku, but they're Sudoku variants. And what a Sudoku variant is it's like a traditional Sudoku, or maybe an untraditional Sudoku. Like maybe instead of 9 in every row, column, and 3x3 box, it'll be 6 in every row, column, and 3x3 box, 1 through 6. But it's a the thing I'm specifically going to recommend is Sudoku variants, which are Sudokus but with a little bit of a twist. There'll be typically additional clues and hints that are necessary to solve to get the answer, and they're can be tricky to get the hang of, but once you do, oh my, they are a blast. You can kill hours with them. But this is Artisanal Sudoku, a site made by James Sinclair, and every week he posts typically a collection of 3 puzzles, specifically Sudoku variants, and some little notes about them, like the rules, what he estimates the difficulty to be, and they are great. They're great, and he does it every week, and this is week 266. He has his entire website. So I recommend checking it out. This is, of course, free. You can, of course, subscribe to his, I think, Patreon, where he does... No, you can subscribe to his Patreon or the newsletter as well. And if you do, I think you get additional puzzles. But just the world of Sudoku variants is something I really love. And then there's also the YouTube channel, Cracking the Cryptic. Let me pull them up. Cracking the Cryptic. Well, they're more than just a YouTube channel, but they're mainly the YouTube channel. Of course, there's the craftingthecryptic.com with Simon and Mark. I'm just going to pull up their YouTube channel quickly. If it'll load, and that's a big if, because it is a lot, oh my, to load stuff on. Gracias, good night, son. Mi iré dormir. Oh, you're going to sleep? Oh, then good night. And as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. See you. I'll be probably doing something similar in the next probably 5 or 10 minutes. But I do just want to chill, cracking the cryptic. But have a good night. Rest well. And I don't know, just rest well. Rest well and have a good morning tomorrow morning. But Cracking Cryptic, this is the YouTube channel. They have a bunch of videos. Oh my. It's... Again, I highly recommend them. My screen is lagging a lot though. Bye. Of course, bye. But how many videos do they have? Too many. Not too many. There's no such thing as too many. 7.5 thousand! That's a lot of videos. And what they do is usually usually 2 times a day. One for Mark and one for Simon. They will do puzzles. They will do Sudokus. Or typically Sudokus. Sudoku variants specifically. And they're a blast to listen to. They also do other things. Like they live stream the game Blueprints, which is another puzzle game. I haven't really checked out Blueprints at all, though. I've tuned into their live streams a bit, but a lot of times when I'm watching live streams, I'm not actively paying attention. I usually just sometimes watch for the banter. And the other thing is I believe Simon does, every Friday, he does a cryptic crossword, which is like the daily cryptic that I showed you, except an entire crossword full of them. And he is so brilliant and eloquent. And he manages to explain everything. I wish I could get it more, though the Minute Cryptic is definitely helping me get it. But yeah, I highly recommend the wonderful world of Sudoku variants. I highly recommend the wonderful world of Sudoku variants. If you like puzzles at all, Sudoku variants are just a blast. After the stream, I'm going to try to finish up what is it called? The artisanal Sudoku for this week. I already did the first puzzle, and I started on the other 2, but I kind of got stuck. I have to admit it. I got stuck. It happens. It does happen. Right. But before we do that, we have a Wordle to conquer. So, let us hop on over and get to solving. And as always, our favorite starting word is jazzy. We get an A in the second spot. That is tamed? That's a word. We have a T somewhere, just not in the first spot. I was going to say caddy, but we already... oh, we can do catch, though. I was going to say caddy, but we already used our Y. But catch might work. Maybe not. Oh, wait. Maybe, yes. I thought, because the C not being there, the C being gray, was like, oh, yeah, no, we don't have a C in this. But no, we have a C exactly in the 4th spot. That's lovely. So maybe we'll try patch. Ooh. Latch? Okay, good. I thought it was going to be something silly like... I don't even know what else we left to guess. Match? We could have guessed match. Oh my. We got it. We just nailed the Wordle. That was really fast. Oh my. Ah, man. But that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you all for watching. What is my ending spiel? Ooh. Actually, I have something. I have one thing. And I technically should have done this. Or should have had proof of this right now to flash on screen. I don't. I'll try to remember that for next stream. But currently, today, my Duolingo streak crossed 1,000 days. Yep, there we go. There's the surprise. I have to humble brag a little bit. I have to brag a little bit. 1,000 days of Duolingo. Of course, the free streaks definitely helped me. Or the free, whatever, yeah, the free streaks. Whenever you miss a day, they definitely help me. But wow. 1,000 days in Duolingo. That's something pretty insane. I just have to, pat myself on the back a little bit. I'm happy about that. I just wanted to share. That's about it for me, though. As always. Oh, sorry. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a day. I hope it's a good one. See ya.